Eric Wilson here, an independent licensed mechanic with 30 years of experience, and in the next short while I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2020 Mazda 3 so you can make yourself an informed decision. Coming in on the front right tire, you got about 70% on all-season radio, so good amount of tread there. Now coming behind the front right tire, first thing I want to point out is that this is your right lower ball joint, critical to hold the wheel to the chassis. It is tight. This here is your right outer CV boot, and full of grease, and if it was ripped, you see grease all over the place. Really important not to, because it keeps that axle lubricated. On your brakes, you got 40,000 K on the front, lots of K left there. This right here is your sway bar link. Oh, pardon me. This is your outer tie rod right there. What I'm pointing at. Okay, that is outer tie rod. That is critical. It's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering, and it is tight. That right there is your right sway bar link connected from there up to there. Important to be connected because it dampens the sway as you go around the corner. This is your right spring suspension strut. Now there's no cracks, no breaks in the spring. More importantly, this tube right here is the shock, and it's full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down there. So this here is the bottom of your motor and the bottom of the oil pan there, and you can see for yourself, good and dry. That's no leaks that I can see on that. Now the inner CV boot on the right, you see for yourself, good and dry, no cracks, no breaks. Okay, on the rear right tire, you've got at least 30,000 K, if not 40,000 K, practically brand new pads. Your tire, lots of meat left, about 60-70% of all-season radio, so you got lots of K left in that. Your right rear shock, right here, this is full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here. That is good and dry. Your right sway bar link, pardon me, your right outer CV boot, that is good and dry. Right inner CV boot, good and dry. More importantly, this is the bottom of the diff. If it's going to leak, you see it dripping all the way along here. That is good and dry. Your right spring suspension, intact, doing its job. Brake-wise, leak-wise, suspension-wise, I'm not seeing anything of issue on the right rear. Okay, coming in on the left front tire, getting about 60% tread. Absolutely, less good amount of K left there. Your left outer CV boot, good and dry. Your left lower ball joint is tight, critical. Your left outer tie rod right here, that is tight. Most important thing of all, keeps the wheel to the steering. Left sway bar link connected from here up to there, intact. Your left spring suspension, no cracks, no breaks. More importantly, good and dry. Brakes, at least 30,000 K. Quite amount of brakes in there. And then your inner CV boot, see if I can get a shot here. Yeah, there you go. Inner CV boot, good and dry, no cracks, no breaks. Bottom of the tranny. I like to see a nice dry tranny pan, and that is one. So I am not seeing any indication of leaks in this thing at all. Okay, on the rear tire, same thing, but same as the front, lots of K left on there. Your right rear shock, full of oil, good and dry. Your right rear outer CV boot, good and dry. Right inner CV boot, good and dry. More importantly, really bone dry on your tranny there, on your rear differential, which is good. The left rear spring suspension intact. Okay, and brakes about the same, 30,000 K. So you've got good amount of brakes all the way around. Tires, brakes, so far so good. No issues that I see. Okay, and just a quick shot of your perusal of your muffler there. Boy, that's one fancy muffler, I gotta say. Woohoo! But that's clean. 122, 126K, definitely low K. No cracks in your windshield that I can see. And now I'm gonna check for your check engine codes. Okay. Okay, now you do have one thing, an issue here on, it'll come up here in a second. Okay, safety driver support system partially disabled. It on the rear, you got a right and left radar, and either one is not functioning properly. So this that you're aware of that. I can't even give you a price on what it's going to take for that to go away, but just be aware of that. Okay, with the motor running. Shot of the exhaust with the motor running. Very, very clean. Now, one thing I always do is I take off the cap and I take a look underneath for any kind of indication of white goo, which would be a mixture of oil and antifreeze, and that's a big problem. Now, I don't see any indication of that at all. In fact, I don't see any indication of this motor runnability on the motor at all here. So, that being said, as far as I can tell, this car is in great running shape. However, you do have that radar sensor at the either back right or left that is going to have to be addressed, because it does it helps when cars come into your blind spot and it notifies you, and that's not working correctly. So hopefully this will help you make an informed decision. Be aware of the what you need to be dealt with there, and if you buy, contact me, because I've got the 3 for free, and I'm going to keep you on the road. Have a great one.